How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to We the Fandom. If you're new to this channel and clicked on this video, feel free to check out the rest of the Ultimate Universe playlist, because today we're talking about Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 5, where we learn the origin of the Green Goblin of Earth 6160, Harry Osborn. Now, in issue 1 of Ultimate Spider-Man, there was a mass funeral for the victims of the quote-unquote terrorist attack in New York City, which was really perpetrated by the Maker's Council, utilizing a Stark-stained satellite and destroying a few city blocks. One of the victims of that tragedy was Norman Osborn, the head of Oscorp. And during the funeral, Harry Osborn said some words about his father, including his most cherished memory, which was a time when he and his father played baseball when he was a kid. Except that we learn in this issue that that was a lie. That the night that Norman Osborn died, Norman was chastising Harry for being late to a social event. And when Norman asks Harry what his favorite memory is, Harry talks about the baseball, and Norman says, "No, that's the memory of a child. My favorite memory of you is the day you stepped up and became a man. However, that hasn't happened yet." And he says that moments before he dies. So Norman treats Harry the same way that his 616 counterpart treats his son, which is basically nothing but disappointment in his son for not living up to his standards. And so this issue is basically covering the events from the terrorist attack up until now through flashbacks. And so from the death of Norman Osborn, we skip ahead a couple weeks where the company Oscorp is signed over to Harry and his wife Gwen, and Harry is invited to meet with the Kingpin, who has become the shadow governor of the entire New York territory after the restructuring of the North American Union following the death of Howard Stark and Obadiah Stane in Ultimate Invasion. And basically, the Kingpin wants to sell Stark Stane Industries, which he inherited, to Harry Osborn in the hopes that Oscorp will absorb Stark Stane and the name will vanish. This is, of course, beneficial to Harry because he gets all of the proprietary Stark tech, which will include the Iron Man armors. We skip ahead once again a few days where Harry and Gwen gain access to Stark Stane Industries, and they get into the vaults holding Iron Man suits, as well as secret files regarding the Maker's Council, as well as the history of the world. Now, the ability to get into the vault and the discovery of these files is performed by Otto Octavius, who traditionally is known as Dr. Octopus, and he has a very interesting character design in this universe. It still throws me off how they've altered the ages of the characters, as it completely throws off the dynamic. Classically speaking, Peter Parker is a teenager when he first faces off with Dr. Octopus, who's probably in his 40s or 50s, whereas in the new Ultimate Universe, they're approximately the same age. In the months following the discovery of the Iron Man armors, Otto Octavius modifies an Iron Man armor to make the Goblin armor, and also notifies Harry of the activation of a number of pieces of Stark tech that have all popped up over the course of a single day in New York City. Which, if you read Ultimates issue number 1, that was when Tony Stark sent the origin boxes from the future to all the would-be heroes at the exact same moment. And so with this discovery, Harry ends up facing against the Shocker, who defeated Spider-Man twice in, I believe it was issue 2, takes the gauntlets from him, learns about the origin boxes, and then confirms the story about Tony Stark with Peter Parker. So now Harry knows that Tony Stark was not behind the terrorist attack, and that combined with the secret files leads him to believe that the Kingpin and, by extension, the Maker's Council are the ones behind his father's death. We skip ahead once again to May, which is when this issue takes place, and Harry is ready to find out if he's meant to be a hero or a villain after interrogating Bullseye, who he captured in issue 3, I believe. Now, the solicitations for issue 6 show Peter and Harry fighting the Kingpin, which will end the first story arc. However, I would really like to learn more about the history of the world, and honestly, I'm surprised how few of those Hickman exposition graphs we've gotten for the new Ultimate Universe, especially Ultimate Spider-Man, given that it's the one title that Hickman is writing. But this was still a good issue. I don't mind lore-heavy comic book issues as long as they're not trying to do heavy exposition along with a bunch of fight scenes, because then it just feels packed and out of place. But let me know what you guys think about issue number 5 of Ultimate Spider-Man in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate it if you would hit that like and subscribe button, as well as the notification bell so that you don't miss out on more content like this. Thanks for watching.